Hello everyone out there in YouTube collectibles land. This is Bernie, Right Field Collectibles, coming at you from the mountains of North Georgia. Today I'd like to do a video that goes over my top 10 Roberto Clemente items in my collection. So we'll start at number 10, bring it all the way down at number 1, show you what I think is the most special item in my collection. Been collecting Roberto for quite a number of years. Always been my favorite player since I was growing up in the mountains of Western Maryland. Been inspired by some of the other YouTubers out there, especially the Clemente collectors like John Mangini, Theo. So just thought I would share some of my Clemente items. So I hope you like the video and see some items that you find interesting. So without further ado, let's put on the 21 hat and get started. Okay, here we go with number 10. Number 10 is a card. It's the only card I have in my collection in an HGA slab. And the card itself was so gaudy that I wanted a gaudy holder to go with it. So a 1964 stand-up 6.0 HGA in a nice gaudy green and yellow theme slab to go with the green and yellow card. You gotta love these 1964 stand-ups. You can't miss them when you see them at a show or somewhere. They jump right at you, jump right out at you. The back, of course, is blank. There you go. That's number 10. All right, here we go with number 9. Number 9 is also a card, and it's in a PSA holder. And I should mention that all my Clemente cards except the previous one are either in a PSA holder or a SGC holder. Of course, the ones I've gotten slabbed. Really, I've come to realize that, as you can see behind me, a lot of them are in SGC, and I think eventually I'd love to have them all in SGC slabs. I think they just jumps out at you better. This card just looks better to me in the SGC slabs. But for now, it's a mixture. I have the entire run of Clemente base cards, and I'm trying to, I have them all in at least collector grade, which I thank Mike, Baseball Collector, for that terminology, which is a 6 for the 60s cards, a 5 for the 50s, and at least a 7 for the 70s. Trying to get collector grade +1 on everything, if that's my ultimate goal. And as you can see behind me, I have a lot of the 60 cards in 7s, but the 50s and the 70s, I still need to work on those. But as always, that's part of the fun, the work in progress. So without further ado, on number 9, it's a 1960 Clemente Topps and a PSA 7. And I just love these 1960 cards, one of my favorite sets. I just think the two images are awesome. I like the black and or the red and white lettering. That pirate logo is awesome. Just a great looking card. Backs are nice, pretty standard, but nice. And it's hard to pick on these base cards. All the Clementes are great, but I think this 1960 is just one of my favorites. That's number 9. Okay, we're getting ready for number 8 in the countdown. Before I go to 8, I made one error in the previous number 9. I'm still hunting for my 1971 Roberto. I had a unslabbed version that probably would have been a 5 or a 6 that I sold. So I'm looking for at least a 7 on that. Going to the National this year in Chicago, so I'm hoping to find one there at a reasonable price. Would love an 8, but those things are way up there at this point. Even a 7 is pretty darn spendy, so I don't have that card. I said I had them all. So here's number 8. This is kind of a unique item, something different. It's in a slab. I guess, I don't know if you call it a card or not. It's a 1971 Milk Duds box, Roberto Clemente. And I don't know how many different versions of the Milk Duds box, how many different players were available on this, but picked this up on eBay, I don't know, years ago, the complete box. You see a lot of them with just the card cut out, but I kind of like the complete box. It's cool on the other side. I mean, this got a 5, excellent. I mean, I don't know how you could get any better on a box. It's obviously you got to flatten it and unfold it to get it in here and put it in this holder. And boy, I can't see anything wrong at all with that box. But anyway, no big deal. I'm just glad it's in a slab, and it looks very cool. So, and that is number 8. Okay, we're down to number 7. Number 7's another card, and another set that I think is one of my favorite sets. If I had the money to collect a set, this would probably be the one I would pick, because it's just like the 60 set. I think it's awesome. It's a 1956. There it is. I've got it in a PSA 5. Beautiful card. Just love the way the card looks in the holder. Once again, the double image, the Clemente jumping up against the wall. Great portrait shot of him. So that's number 7, 1956 Clemente in a PSA 5. All right, we're down to number 6, another card, and it's from 1966, but it's not Roberto's base card. It's the NL batting leaders. He shares the card with 2 other great ones, Willie Mays and Hank Aaron. I collect leader cards as well, and this is without a doubt the top of the heap when it comes to leader cards, in my opinion. The Clemente, Aaron, Mays, NL batting leaders, 1966. It's in a PSA 6. Beautiful card. It's the back that lists the leaders. I just love leader cards just because it's sort of, not only do they look great, oftentimes multiple Hall of Famers, but you can also get a piece of history when you look at the back. You can see, hey, in 1965, here's 20 guys that were at the top of the leaderboard when it came to batting average in the NL. So a very cool, great, cool card. Love the leader cards, and that's number 6. Okay, we're down to number 5. And number 5's, it's actually 2 items and not a card. A couple very interesting items that I really like, and they're bats. First one is a Hall of Fame induction bat from 1973. I'm going to come behind the camera so I can show this properly. There you see it, National Baseball Hall of Fame, August 6, 1973. Every year they make, I think it is 500 of these bats and sell them. Picked this up on eBay. I've wanted it for a long time. I just got it a couple years ago, actually. And there you see the Roberto facsimile signature right there at the top. You see the other people that went in, Warren Spahn, Monty Irvin, William Evans, I assume owner or whatever, George Kelly, Michael Welch, probably another front office executive. So a very, very cool item. And I like the fact that it's not number 21, but it's got the number 21 in there, 210 out of 500. Okay. The next is another bat. This one is another limited edition 1971 World Series bat. World Series champions. Once again, get up here, you can see it. Pittsburgh Pirates, World Champions, 1971. And it's got the facsimile signatures of everyone on the team, including managers and coaches. Not all of them are facsimile, some of them are printed. Manager Danny Murtaugh. And there's the Roberto right there. And I collect 1971 World Series memorabilia as well. So, really love this item. That's number 5. Well, speaking of World Series, might as well grab these 2 items since we're talking about it. There's a Game 7 ticket stub at Baltimore. Clemente home run when they clinched. Steve Blass on the mound. And there was a game number 5 in Pittsburgh. World Series ticket. All right, that's number 5 with a couple bonus items. Thank you. All right, we're down to number 4. This item I've had in my collection for, wow, probably 30 years or more. It's a unique item. Came out in 1969 by Topps, and they were folded into small, almost like a pack of cards, but it was a team poster. So they're called 1969 Topps Team Poster, and they're kind of hard to find in good condition, especially the Pirate one. So I had this framed and mounted many, many years ago. Here it is. Beautiful green color. And you can see there's 4 Hall of Famers on here. Beside Clemente up atop, Jim Bunning, Stargell, and Mazeroski right here. So, and since this has been in the folder and mounted for a long, long time, boy, you can hardly see the folds that were in this. If you look on eBay, any of these you see, you're going to see the heavy folds in most of them. So it's nice to have one that's mounted and really sharp. So that's number 4. Okay, we're down to number 3. And number 3 is a big boy. Got my first one of these in, I think, 1989 at the National in Anaheim, California. The Clemente rookie card. I since traded up one. When I got that one graded, I got it raw. Got it graded not that long ago, maybe 4, 5, 6 years ago. Got a 4. Ended up selling that and picking up a 5. So this is a Clemente rookie, 1955 Topps, and a PSA 5. Would love to accomplish my goal of a collector grade +1 on this, but you're talking a lot of money for that. There's the back, but just a beautiful beautiful copy, good centering, good color. Just great to have. You got to have this in the Clemente collection. Love it. Number 3. Okay, we're down to number 2. And this item is very unique because all the other items I've shown you, they all have a monetary value, no doubt. This one, probably not even worth that much. But it's got huge sentimental value, and I just think it is so cool. And when I said I grew up in Western Maryland, couple-hour drive from Pittsburgh. So used to go to a lot of games with family, friends, had bus trips from our town that would go over there. And thankfully I was a big collector of the ticket stubs and the programs when I went, and I always kept score. So this is actually a scorebook from 1972. As you see, it's got the 1971 World Champ banner on it. And it's the date in it is July 1st, 1972, against the Chicago Cubs at Three Rivers Stadium. And I'm going to take it over to the table and flip the camera around, get a different angle so you can actually see the program, so I can explain to you why it's so awesome. Okay, here's the program opened up to the scorecard portion. In the first of all, let's take a look on the mound. Fergie Jenkins, Hall of Famer. The lineup for the Cubs: Williams, Hall of Famer; Santo, Hall of Famer. 3 Hall of Famers in that lineup for the Cubbies. For the Bucks, we got Bob Moose on the mound, Stargell batting cleanup. We got a couple Hall of Famers there. All right, let's take a look here and see some of the action. First of all, in the third, the Cubs break the scoring open after a base hit by Glenn Beckert. Billy Williams gets an RBI double. It stays that way until the 7th, when Roberto leads off with a home run. Tie game 1-1. Stargell singles after that. Gene Kleins comes in and pinch run, promptly steals second. Goes to third on an Al Oliver fly out to deep center and scores on a sac fly to right by Manny Sanguillen. Bucks are up 2-1. We go over to the 8th, and look at that. Fergie leads off the 8th. They let the pitcher in, down 2-1 in the 8th inning. They leave him bat, and he was a good pitcher, though. Base hit, gets erased at second on a fielder's choice by Kessinger, but Billy Williams comes through again and smacks a 2-run bomb. Cubs up 3-2. No score in the bottom of the 8th for the Bucks. No score in the 9th. Top of the 9th for the Cubbies. We go to the bottom of the 9th, and we got pinch hitter Milt May comes up and strokes a single to lead it off. And look at that. Roberto Clemente, walk-off home run, second home run of the game, off Hall of Famer Fergie Jenkins. Bucks win 4-3. Unbelievable game. I wish I could tell you I remember every detail, but I don't. But I was probably going crazy when Roberto hit that second home run. I don't know how many games in his career he had a walk-off home run, and a walk-off being his second home run, probably, if any. Very rare. So anyway, that's it. A great item, one that I really love. And next up is number 1. All right, we're down to number 1. I don't think anyone will disagree that this should be the number 1 item on the list. I've had this since 1968. I got it personally. I got it at the Pirate Spring Training Facility. I believe it was in Fort Myers at that time. And you can probably guess what it might be. The Roberto Clemente autograph. I think you'll agree, Clemente's got one of the most beautiful signatures out there. And I feel very fortunate to have this, and it survived for this long. In the 1980s, I put this backing on it because I had a display on the wall with all his cards, and this was in the middle. Probably stupid, but it survived. Still looks good. It's definitely an item I treasure. Thank my mom for taking me that spring training game. And I remember waiting outside afterwards. I got most of the pretty much all the Pirates signed. There was only one other person out there with me getting autographs. Can you imagine that these days? Roberto was, I think, the last person out. My mother was waiting over on the side. She took a kind of a long distance picture when he was signing. I wish I could find that, but I can't. But I remember he had a green cardigan on. Very friendly, but man, it's a good item. One that I treasure. All right, that wraps it up. Thanks for watching the top 10 video on my Clemente items. If anyone has any unique Clemente items, please leave a comment down below and let me know what it is. And I'd love to see some other videos with people having Clemente items. Always good to see our fellow collectors and have them share what they have. So till next time, this is Bernie, Right Field Collectibles, over and out.